Huzzah! So for all you budding or experienced property investors, here's the question. Is using bridging finance to invest a good idea? Let's look at some of the reasons you might need a bridge. It might be that you need funding and you need it fast because you have found a time-sensitive investment opportunity. How many times do you see a deal but they need it to move quick and they're giving it to you a little bit cheaper because of speed? And that is true when you go to auction. Sometimes there will be below market value properties. Again, speed is crucial. Bridging can be accessed relatively quickly. So you do need to be in place with the right product to be able to make that work. And the other thing you need to be mindful of is having a very solid exit strategy. So what sort of things do we see with the exits? It might be that they're selling another property and that's then going to pay off the bridge. It might be that some people are waiting on the receipt of business proceeds and they're going to then have the funds to be able to do it, but they don't have the funds right now. They're waiting for that to come in. It might be that you're fortunate enough or unfortunate enough to be waiting on an inheritance that might be coming in again. All of these things can be used to help pay the bridging finance back. One of the ways some people will do it is when they're flipping properties. It might be that they'll buy a dilapidated property, they'll renovate it, and then they will sell it. Or it might be that they're going to then put that onto maybe a buy-to-let and hold it within their portfolio. Again, all of those are really good ways to do the repayment of the bridge. One thing to consider though is you need to understand the market. If you're going to flip a property to sell it, or you're going to do it up and then refinance it onto a buy-to-let, you need to understand what the market value of that property will be and what the appetite for buying it might be. Because if there are delays in you selling or refinancing onto a buy-to-let and you go past the term that the deal is for, i.e. most bridging finances are maybe 6 to 12 months, then you're going to start to run into some issues. You might need to extend the property. It might be that the lender needs to repossess it, and that's financially damaging for you, and you don't want that. So you need to make sure that you can pay back that bridge. If you don't have a clear exit strategy, then you are going to really start to unravel very quickly. And don't forget, guys, when you are looking at the cost of bridging finance, you might think, the cost is relatively high in comparison to maybe a standard mortgage. But this is a short-term finance, and the sooner you can pay off that debt, the less it will actually cost you. All right, so it's all about planning properly, and that's why speaking to someone like myself or an experienced broker that deals with bridging will really pay dividends. It's really important for you to understand that not only are you going to be paying the bridging finance within the conditions of the loan, but when you set up the bridging finance, there will be costs. There'll be valuation fees, there'll be legal fees for both the lender typically and your own representation. You might have to pay a broker fee. There are all these different fees, the arrangement fees, that you also need to factor in to the costs. So if you are considering bridging finance as a tool to get into the investments, then I think that's brilliant. And I think it's a really good way to do it, as long as you understand all the costs, all the implications, and you understand what it is that you're doing. And that's where coming to me will help. Guys, if you need any assistance at all with any bridging finance queries or any investment opportunities at all, then why don't you reach out? Let's have a chat.